It finally appears that Sparking Zero is out of beta. It took only almost 2 full years for the game to finally enter its full completed phase, right? And, you know, hopefully it doesn't end here either, right? There's still probably plenty of Dragon Ball content to come. I'm sure that there's other Dragon Ball related things that we haven't completely pulled from yet, more what ifs and stuff like that. We'll get more into that stuff in a little bit. You know, we'll dissect it a little more, maybe in a different video even. But I just wanted to talk about, like, you know, the positives and negatives of this finally releasing. But I just do want to acknowledge the fact that it's, you know, it's here and the game finally feels just a little bit more complete. You know, things just generally feel a lot better when it comes to, like, looking and playing the game. It feels like it's moving a little bit smoother, and there's just more to do now, and that's really, really great. And just, you know, a lot of people seem to be generally pleased with the content that was added to the game. And there's a lot that I absolutely adore about this. Most of the stuff they've added, I'm 100% happy with. Actually, I'm pretty sure I'm happy about all of it. I haven't tried exactly every single, you know, nook and cranny yet. I haven't delved too deeply into it because, you know, there's very specific things that I have been doing in the last couple of days. But I just wanted to sit down and talk about, you know, my positives and negatives, and this is going to be a very short one because there's only 1 or 2 real positive things and 1 major negative about this entire situation, right? So, jumping into it, let's just get to the positives. First positive is that these new modes add so much replay value to single player content, right? Because that's the thing with me, like, I love fighting online, absolutely, you know, especially for fighting games. I love fighting online. That is just the bread and butter. This is what this game is all about, just throwing hands with people, right? And it's always spectacular to do that in Sparking, even before, you know, the major update and we finally got everything. We just, you know, it was just that. It was just boxing people online for hours on end, just trying to get your rank up, which is cool and all, that's dandy. But now, more than ever, it feels like they finally capitalized and made sure to delve a little bit more into the single player aspect, because now we have this roguelike, this roguelite mode, we have the survival mode. I think that survival mode wasn't there before, and we have so much now added to the quote-unquote campaign of the game, or what if scenarios, right? Or the story mode, essentially. Now, first things first, I just need to talk about the roguelite game mode for a moment, because that sucker is so addictive, bro. Like, that is, I didn't even know how badly I needed it until I saw that for the first time. I was sitting there thinking, like, there's no way they're adding a roguelite like mode to Dragon Ball. That is so, that's clever. Like, it's ridiculous, but it's clever, you know what I'm saying? Because now you have this mode where you're constantly, you know, and I call it, it's not roguelike, it's roguelite, right? Because you're meant to get in and out really, really fast, and there is like a quick ending to it, right? You're not there, you know, for hours upon hours on end. You know, you do like up to like 10 or 15 battles or something like that, and you're done with that, and then you just go back in, get stronger, do it all over again, and challenge stronger and stronger and stronger opponents. And it's really satisfying because every single character essentially has their own file in a way, right? The only character that I've played as in that mode so far is Bardock, so I can't attest to whether or not any of the, like, the attack modules or whatever that you get during that transfer over to other characters. But what I do know is that whatever you do get on your run, 9 times out of 10 you at least keep, including your stats, your upgrades, and everything like that, right? So essentially you are just going in over and over and over again, just whooping NPCs' asses, just going nuts in there. And even if you lose, you're expected to lose, especially if you fight really tough opponents. You come back out, you're a little bit stronger than when you started, so your chances of getting through to the, you know, the boss is even better. And now, here's the thing, I can't speak on everybody. You're probably gonna see my gameplay throughout this. I'm gonna be frank with you, it's been a minute since I really got down and dirty with Sparking, so I had to knock the rust off a little bit, and I felt like the roguelite mode was a good excuse to do that. Although, man, I forgot how dangerous these NPCs are, bro. The NPCs in Sparking are on some different timing, dog. They were punting me in the balls over and over again until they made sure I couldn't have kids again, like Android 13 putting it into Goku's nuts. You know what I'm saying? Like, they were whooping my ass. And I welcomed it, you know what I'm saying? I think that was one of the best way to knock the rust off, was to get down and dirty right in the battlefield again. Just throw me right into the fire. And I was having a great time. I was having a good time just getting whooped, relearning everything. There's definitely a lot of things that I still need to relearn, but doing this over and over again has kind of helped me, you know, want to do that. I'm actually just kind of craving going back in and just fighting, just boxing again, right? And I want to keep going and, you know, fight the whatever boss is available, and then like keep doing it, see what else I can get out of that, see how long before I get completely tired of it. But I feel like it'll be a while, because it's one of those things that's just kind of like you just go back into every now and again to just do, like, see how far you can get with other characters. And, you know, I feel like that's a very good way to practice with a lot of the other characters too, right? The reason I'm playing through with Bardock is because Bardock has been my main, and now it's phenomenal because I got Super Saiyan Bardock. You know what I'm saying? Super Saiyan Bardock is fire, bro. He feels better to play as than base Bardock, and that's all I could ask for. Like, all of his moves feel so sauced out of their minds. Like, I'm so happy that we finally got this what if scenario character in Super Saiyan Bardock, and I really hope that we continue to get more stuff like that, right? So, suffice to say, I'm having a lot of fun with the Roguelite mode. Another thing that I did this morning was I played the survival mode, which is just kind of continue fighting until you get through every single character. Pretty much Iron Man, but like, you know, to a lesser degree, where you're fighting every character on the roster, but in a survival mode, meaning you could pick a handful of characters. It's a DP mode, so you can, you know, you could pick, you know, characters that add or equal up to about 15 points, and then you can, you know, just survive for as long as you can. I've only done it twice. I've gotten up to 20 characters. I do need to fight more. Again, I'm still knocking the rust off, and they get stronger as they go, so you gotta be really prepped, because they start, I feel like, maybe I'm crazy, I feel like they start learning your patterns, and they start, like, really, you know, taking advantage of that, and start moving a little bit differently. So you really gotta pay attention to how you're moving and make sure to switch it up with every character that you play as. So I've managed to streak for about like 20 to 21 characters, and I want to do more because I wanted to see how far I could get. But that second time around, I was having fun kicking asses, Reddit, bro, just seeing how far I could get. It was great, and it really showed me how much I missed this game. And again, I believe this was a mode I believe this wasn't a mode until this update. Either way, this is my first time playing it, and I was having a phenomenal time, right? But other than that, the next and final major thing that they added was the, obviously, you know, well, that's not the final thing, but one of the things that I invested into this morning was the you know, the story mode, more the what if scenarios, right? Primarily because they added, what was it, 4 stories now? We have Krillin, Tien, I think it was Yamcha, and Cell, which is crazy. Was it Yamcha? I can't remember. I took like a glance. I played as Krillin, and I can't wait to get to Cells and Tiens, bro. I want to see what's going on there. But like, again, playing the story mode, these CPUs are ridiculous, especially like in a scenario where you're 100% meant to lose, right? So I spent an absurd amount of time trying to get a what if scenario to trigger for Krillin's story, right? The fight against Final Form Frieza for the first time is so, maybe it's just me, I don't know, it's hard, man. I was getting clocked it's not even that. I'm just not hitting hard enough, fast enough. Like, I just need to deal more damage a lot quicker, because no matter what, I've gotten them down to like 1 bar of health, and as soon as I hear that voice line trigger for Goku's Spirit Bomb, I know it's wraps. There's no way I'm winning before that, you know, that line ends. But I'm antsy. I want to keep going. I want to keep trying, and I want to keep getting better at it until I finally get that crossroad, that what if scenario. I want to see, you know, what that means for Krillin. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happens next after that, right? And I can't wait to get to, you know, like Tien's. Like, are we bringing Tien to to Namek instead of like Piccolo or something? Like, what does that mean? Like, I'm so curious. Like, we're finally gonna get that, dude, that version of Tien. Yo, Dragon Ball people know what I'm talking about. We're getting that Tien, bro. Jokes aside, I'm having fun again with this game. It's done a lot to give me a lot more of a reason to come back as a single player, player. And, it's incentivized me to maybe take some more characters online, too. I want to play as all these different characters that we just got, I want to take in General Tao and Teen Goku from, the World Martial Arts Tournament, Chi-Chi, see what I could do with her, because Videl is one of my mains, and Pan is one of my mains, so it's just like, I want to have, them as a squad, you know what I'm saying? I want to see what I could do with them, maybe online and stuff like that, or whatever, but it's just that they gave us so many characters now, as well as, more transformations and whatnot. With, again, Bardock getting Super Saiyan is the best thing that could have happened in this game for me. Like, I'm so excited to take that man online and just put belt to ass. It's so time, bro. It's been time, dog. So, generally speaking, for now, that about does it for my positives. Again, there's a lot of other things that I probably haven't tapped into content-wise for single-player stuff, but I'm very appreciative of the fact that this game finally feels like it has a little more meat to it. It feels like it's having its own identity now, and, especially because, like, dude, it's so funny seeing the intro, like, the brand new intro that did not exist before. Like, they had an entirely different animated intro. Now, that's just... I don't even know if you can watch it in game or anything like that, because it just got completely replaced. So that's strange that they did that, but hey, you know what? We have an entirely new animated intro that looks phenomenal, as well as a completely original song, as opposed to just using Super's theme, which, I love it. It definitely got tired, though, after like almost a decade now. I'll be completely honest. Again, it's great, but with a game like this one, every Dragon Ball game up to this point usually had its own theme. You know what I'm saying? So, regardless of what, we do have, I'm happy that we have a lot more meat to it, right? So, flipping the coin over, that just about does for my positives. Now we got to talk about the negative. And the one major negative thing. This one's obvious. This is a no-brainer to anybody, but that price is nasty work. The price is nasty work, and it's kind of ridiculous, right? A lot of people are not happy with Bandai right now when it comes to Dragon Ball games, right? Obviously, Xenoverse 3 has kind of been on the fence with a lot of people lately because of what they've showcased and how it doesn't really look satisfactory, and it's not close enough to what people recognize as Xenoverse 3. I completely understand that, right? I think what they're pulling now definitely does not help with, their image right now, because the fact that the DLC, Neo Sparking, is a little over half the price, or no, just about or a little over half the original price of the base game, is ridiculous work, especially when so many people shelled out absurd amounts of money for the deluxe edition, only to feel like that game died out in a couple of months, if that. People were talking about how they were gonna run ones forever with this game, and it felt like it just got so dry very, very quickly for a lot of people, and completely understandable. It was lacking a lot of the content that it seemed like it was gonna promise. More cosmetics, more characters, more stages. We were so weirdly limited with the stages when games prior to it introduced so many different stages that we could have used. And it wasn't until this update that we finally got that, but they had to put it behind a paywall. Jesus Christ, what a stutter! They had to put it behind a paywall because they knew that people were going to come back to this, and they wanted to make sure to get as much out of that as humanly possible. And that's really gross. It's really gross, Not that, I can't talk too much because I did get it, obviously. I'm not, completely innocent in all this. I still think that it is ridiculous that so many people, everybody got barred from this content for an extra $35 because they decided to make it DLC as opposed to part of the deluxe edition of the game, which everybody shelled out $100 for, and it feels like nobody got anything out of that. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little upsetting because it's just like, what was the purpose of that $100 edition? That was one of the few gold edition pre-orders that outsold the base version, right? Most people were buying that version. And it feels like nothing came of that. And it's like that, I don't know. That's still really, really shady. That's still really shady. But again, you know, in this era, everything is a shady business practice, especially in the video game space. It's disgusting. It's gross. It's not pleasant. It's not a pleasant time, unfortunately, to be a fan of art, frankly. It's really not. And I do think that video games are a form of art, and it's just really, really, you know, excuse my French, but shitty that they did it this way. So, you know, now we're kind of looking at a mixed bag situation in which, yeah, like this feels like a finally completed game with, you know, a lot of, you know, proper content stuff added to it. But the fact that A, it took that long, and B, that it's behind a paywall even after people shout out buku amounts of money for the base game, it's gross. It's nasty, and that really, really sucks. And that just kind of plays even more heavily into, you know, the unfortunate world that we're living in right now, in which they will definitely always prioritize money over what we want and what we feel like we deserve and need. So always keep that in mind. Anyway, that just about wraps it up for my thoughts on this. So I'm passing the mic over to you, and I want you guys to tell me everything that you're thinking in the comment section below. Do you agree that while it does look like we have a solid update on our hands with a lot of good content added to the game to make it feel like it's finally complete, or are you on the opposing side? This update's not worth it, the price isn't worth it, this is absolutely unacceptable, Bandai is not getting any more of your money, and this monopoly needs to end. You want Jump Force 2. Tell me everything that you guys are thinking in the comment section below, because you know for a fact that I'm always going to be down here with you guys. But with that, yes sir, it does appear to be skedaddle the clock, so I'm going to go ahead and do just that. I'd like to thank you guys ever so much for watching. I truly do hope you enjoyed. Do me the greatest favor of dropping a like and a comment, and consider subscribing for more content just like this here. And with that, I'm gone, so thanks again, hope you enjoyed, and I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Do me the greatest favor of taking good ass care, and I'll see you all next time.